After being isolated from the international community for several decades, David Cameron has visited Burma and held discussions with its government leaders as well as its opposition leaders.
I think it is right to suspend the sanctions that there are against Burma, to suspend them, not to lift them.
We have a full report of this story and more coming up right now. Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Krishi Panitharatna. But before we start our news, we would like to wish our viewers out there a very happy Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Now let's take a look at our headlines tonight.
The President states that every step should be taken to build good relations and cooperation with each other. US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says the US looks forward to supporting Sri Lanka's efforts to foster national reconciliation and development. And British Prime Minister David Cameron meets Burma's pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi.
The Sinhala Tamil New Year dawned at 7:20 this evening with the shifting of the sun from the house of Pisces to the house of Aries. News First also participated in the festivities at the dawn of the New Year.
අපිත් සමග මේ වෙලාවේ එක්කහුවෙලා ඉන්න රටවාසී සියලු දෙනාට නිවුස් ෆර්ස්ට් රේඩියෝෙන් සුබ අලුත් අවුරුද්දක් වේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
The time to prepare meals was set at 7:42 p.m. today. Astrologers say that milk rice mixed with jaggery and ghee should be consumed at 10:28 p.m. while facing the south dressed in blue and white attire. The Punya Kale or the Nonagataya started at 12:56 p.m. today and will conclude at 1:44 a.m. tomorrow. It is customary to cease all activities and engage in religious observances during this time.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa states that it is best if every step is taken to build good relations and cooperation with each other during the season of festivity. The President made this statement in his message issued for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year.
In his message, the President states that the traditional New Year is a truly great national festival that shows the remarkable bonds between nature and humankind. The President adds that the New Year paves the way to look at one's life and society with renewed determination and courage. The President notes that as the country moves towards prosperity, the observance of traditions by all at the auspicious hours would bring great blessings. The message by the President states that the unity and understanding between family and village is a great encouragement to solidarity for national prosperity. Issuing a message for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne called on everyone to work hand in hand towards a prosperous future. The Prime Minister states that Sri Lanka has brought home the fact to the world that if everyone works in unity and consensus, any challenge can be overcome. Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe in his New Year message emphasized that the New Year is dawning at a time the people are in severe discomfort. Wickremesinghe states that the people's lives have been hindered due to the tax burden, the cost of living, insufficient salaries, prices of goods, electricity and water charges, and the inability to sell their produce. US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says that the Sinhala and Tamil New Year celebration brings people together to renew bonds of friendship and family. Issuing a Sinhala and Tamil New Year's greeting on behalf of US President Barack Obama and the people of the United States, Clinton says that it gives Sri Lankans of all backgrounds living inside and outside the country an opportunity to help build a prosperous democratic nation defined by tolerance and respect for human rights. Clinton notes that as partner and friend of Sri Lanka for more than 150 years, the United States looks forward to supporting Sri Lanka's efforts to foster national reconciliation and development and to build even stronger ties between the people of the two nations.
Hindu devotees across Sri Lanka celebrated the dawn of the New Year today with much enthusiasm.
In Hindu theology, there exists a 60-year calendar which is known by various names. According to that calendar, the 26th year, known as Nandana, dawns today. According to astrology, the New Year dawned at 5:45 this evening, while in Hindu numerology, the New Year dawned at 7:20 this evening. Following the dawn of the New Year based on Hindu tradition, the head is anointed with a mixture prepared from the extracts of various plants.
We stumbled upon a traditional folk drama called Sokari during our New Year quest from Kandy to the Nallur Kovil in Jaffna. Dambulla, the city that never sleeps, is home to a range of such ancient traditions and art forms, and we made a stop there to obtain a first-hand experience.
The people of Rajarata lead a simple lifestyle and engage in their day-to-day activities with the same vigor irrespective of whether it rains or shines. Joy and happiness are embedded into the lifestyles of the people here, who also lead pious lives. The paddy field, which is carefully cultivated and nourished for an entire season, is eventually converted into a stage for Sokari. The Sokari Nadagama, which is a votive offering to Pattini, is a traditional form of folk drama believed to have made its way to the island from India during the reign of King Gajaba. Sokari is performed as a votive offering to the gods for protecting one's harvest and family from sickness and grief. It must be noted, however, that despite being handed down for generations, Sokari is a rare sight today. Incidentally, individuals such as Madagedara Jayasundara Guru Nanse, who are engaged in a lone battle to foster this ancient art form, should indeed be commended for the effort made.
The ancient arts are not given due prominence. It is tragic to see the gradual deterioration of this art form.
Tomorrow on News First, we take a look at Panchakelia, a traditional sport from Kandy, which can be seen in Dambulla as well during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year.
No matter how much a pious a person becomes, it is impossible to forget the careless play that one engaged in as a child. Some novice monks showed us the truth in the statement at Carlton House in Tangol this morning.
The chief incumbent of the Sri Bodhiruka Ramavihara in the Teliyulla settlement in Vallavaya arrived at Carlton House in Tangol this morning, accompanied by a few novice monks. They had arrived there to bestow their blessings on the president in view of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The novice monk wasted no time in building a rapport with the president. Thereafter, another novice monk submitted a recital to the president. Subsequently, the chief incumbent of the Sri Bodhiruka Ramavihara, Venerable Appilivave Ratanathera, left Carlton House with the novice monks in tow.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka states that foreign remittances from Sri Lankan expatriates were the country's primary source of foreign exchange last year as well. Foreign remittances from expatriate workers amounted to $5.1 billion in 2011.
The Central Bank's 2011 annual report states that for the third consecutive year, foreign remittances from expatriate workers surpassed apparel exports as the country's biggest earner of foreign exchange. The total foreign remittances from expatriate workers, which stood at $4.1 billion in 2010, increased to $5.1 billion in 2011.
In economic growth, we can see there is a problem in the deficit side, where the external trade gap External trade gap has widened in 2011. Imports have increased by 50%, but exports have increased only by 20%. So this has been the problem, and how we diversify our exports, how to promote exports, and of course how can we supply the imported goods domestically. Domestic production should think about, particularly the producers should think about, how can we divert the local production, increase the local production as well. The remittances of the migrant people has contributed a lot to the improvement of the balance of payment. So therefore, that how can we improve, how can we increase number of skilled people migration and focusing on their remittances using for entrepreneurship. So particularly those who are in abroad, they are sending money back to Sri Lanka. Those money I think we have to use for more entrepreneurship or the creating small businesses, and of course fruitful development in the economy.
A program to commemorate the 39th death anniversary of former Prime Minister Dudley Seranayake was held in Colombo today.
Deputy Mayor of Colombo, UL Titus Pereira, garlanded the statue of late Dudley Seranayake located near the D.H. Seranayake roundabout in Colombo. Those who arrived for the memorial laid floral tributes near the statue.
If there was a leader who brought forth a proposal to put a full stop to gambling and consumption of liquor, it was Dudley Seranayake. Dudley Seranayake was a person who never worked for his own personal benefit. I believe that he is an example to the modern day politician. Although individuals enter politics without a cent in their hands, they soon become wealthy. However, Dudley Seranayake even lost his property he inherited when engaging in politics. He died as a people's leader. Therefore, I believe that politicians of today can take many examples from Dudley Seranayake.
එනිසා ඩඩ්ලි සේනානායක මැතිතුමාගෙන් වර්තමානයේ දේශපාලනය කරන අයටත් බොහෝ ආදර්ශයන් රාශියක් ගන්නට පුළුවන්කම තිබුණා කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා.
Senior Minister D.W. Gunasekara warns that if Sri Lanka does not act wisely, it will be isolated at the next United Nations Human Rights Council session in Geneva. Gunasekara expressed his view at a function held in Mathura today.
A ceremony was held in Mathura today to commemorate the 111th birth anniversary of late Dr. S.A. Wickramasinghe, who was the founder of the Sri Lanka Communist Party. The ceremony was held under the auspices of Senior Minister of Human Resources, D.W. Gunasekara.
We have faced a 3-decade-long war. It was Dr. Wickramasinghe who first stated in 1956 that a war of this nature will take place in the country. Today our problem has been transformed into an international issue. 15 out of 24 nations voted for us. If we do not act wisely, or if our problems are not solved by the next session, there wouldn't be anyone to vote in favor of us. We will be isolated. We need to understand this. At a time when globalization is taking place, there is no point in protesting or going to war. People's views change through the internet. Our politicians should understand that our small country will not be able to maintain its position in a globalized world.